Hello, everybody.
Hello, I'm the Commie.
And I am the liberal. And I want to just tell you, everybody, we're just starting to get back on the show because we had to postpone the show for 3 weeks because our air conditioning went out. And we didn't get our air conditioning fixed until yesterday. So because we didn't get our air conditioning fixed until yesterday, we had to postpone the show for 3 weeks. But I can tell you this, everybody. Today, because we're just getting back into it, we're only going to do the show for 2 hours today. Me and Trevor will be doing it from 4:30 to 5:30. Father and Trevor will be doing it from 5:30 to 6:30.
That is right. And I wanted to start off today with uh second what I said before. When I say there was in the state of Texas in the news, I want to start off with this. There was a um, there was sound footage that came out from a Texas school in which they talked about the teachers, and it shows just how much our teachers have so much pressure on each other from the state governments in Republican states, because there was a recording that came out from a Texas school in which a man or a woman actually said that they had to do double with the Holocaust. They would have to teach the Holocaust. One sort of complained, and they said we have to find another book that teaches the other perspective, as if there's should be another view from something as dangerous and as evil as Hitler and his evil machinations with the Holocaust. I think it's wrong and it's disgusting. As a Jew, a Catholic Jew, I am completely, I was so utterly offended by it, and I would, like Governor Abbott, I wish Abbott was here, I would punch him in the face. I literally would.
I'm going to tell you, everybody, Great Albert is an asshole because he is for slavery and racism. And when the teachers were teaching children about anti-slavery and racism, the Governor Albert, as far as I'm concerned, earlier today suspended the teachers for teaching children about anti-slavery and racism, and that is evil as hell. Because when you have a governor that supports racism and slavery, they shouldn't be in office. Because the murderers, and not only the murderers, the racists. And so to let you know, everybody, as we're talking right now, when you are dealing with people that support slavery and racism, everybody, we might as well just throw the book at them
Sure.
and teach them. That's true, and teach everybody how wrong slavery as well as racism is.
How could anyone defend the Holocaust? How could anyone defend an institution as evil as slavery? If you are on that side and you support that idea, you should not be in the mainstream press of today. You should not be in the history of today. And I think there is certain problems, and I just don't understand how some people can admire people like Confederates like Jefferson, like Davis, for example. How some people like him and hold him up to high regard. How could anyone hold someone who was both a traitor, guilty of treason, and was a uber racist and was ground with no reasoning at all? How could someone defend someone like that? I don't understand. And I also don't understand why the problem is with these schools in the state of Texas and Georgia and Florida. Well, maybe, yeah, Florida and other states with schools who are trying to ban critical race and who are trying to get rid of uh, anti-racial program problems out of the curriculum. That is wrong. There should be absolute teaching to make sure that stuff like that, like segregation and all the evils of the past, could not happen again. That's how we do things. We try to move forward, and we're not moving forward. We're moving backwards.
And we're repeating history from 1865 on back. Every time we do not move forward and we move backwards, well, in the end, people are supporting slavery and racism.
We are, and these Republican governors, they ought to be ashamed of themselves, and especially Governor Abbott for what he did with the anti-slavery and him endorsing quote unquote other methods of other ways of teaching the Holocaust. How could you do something like that? What is one has to wonder how more evil and how more brutal this Republican Party is, because the Republican Party during another age back in the 1860s, yes, they were a little conservative, which isn't right in my opinion, but they were anti-slavery. They were against slavery, and it was the Democrats back then in the South were against slavery. They were pro-slavery, and now the modern Republican Party since 1960 has acted in a similar way as the old Southerners in the Democrat Party once did. So, the time has changed, and we really need to take a serious, hard look at how we view this Republican Party, because they are destroying democracy as we know it. They've done it ever since then. We know Trump tried to do a coup, the January 6th attack. We know they tried to do all sorts of shady things there and here. So let's talk and do something constructive.
And you gotta think about this, everybody. Donald Trump incited the violence at the Capitol building on January 6th, and it's all on tape. And they're all terrorist networks of Donald Trump, too. You got the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, which both of those are terrorist networks.
They are.
Of Donald J.
They are
Trump.
Dangerous networks. They are committing lots of law infractions. Simply put, they are breaking the law, and they have been every day. And that seems to be the philosophy of Trump and the modern day GOP, modern day Republican Party, is just breaking the law and law breaking. Now, that's not to say corrupt Democrats don't exist, like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema, the name two obvious members. Hakeem Jeffries is another one who I think is very corrupt and someone who I don't really like. But I think it shows that there is problems in that party, and there needs to be a wide scope investigation into just how far this carried out, and they are doing January 6th. But I think if they talk about audits with the election, the real audits need to be going on the corrupt people, the actual corrupt politicians, and that's the Republicans. They need to be audited. If they can do it with the states, which they're trying to push, maybe it's the Republicans. Maybe they need to be audited in some way. And Trump, he is just doing the same old shtick that every Republican has done since 1960. So, yeah.
By the way, everybody, moving on to the mosque, there was a suicide bomber earlier today that bombed the mosque, killing 16 people and injuring 70 people.
That's unfortunate.
And we need to find out if it was ISIS or Al Qaeda or Taliban. See, the Taliban and Al Qaeda want a ceasefire, but they don't act like it.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they seem to really care. It kind of reminds me a little of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, both sides, and it is Israel doing most of the oppression and the ethnic cleansing and abuse. I put most of the blame on them, but it's like, but one thing they both have in common is neither side seems to care. They seem to care about anything. They don't seem to care about waging war with peace, trying to get peace. They don't seem to want that. They just keep fighting for no reason. And I think it's unfortunate, and we need to have a scenario where we get both people sides to the table and actually doing something. So,
now moving on to the vaccination rate. The vaccination rate's up to 56.8% in general as the vaccine mandate started today, and 65.8% with at least one dose. COVID-19 death rate went up by 2,040. The new cases rate, 84,888 new cases. And by the way, everybody, the vaccine mandate is in effect. Went in effect at midnight last night. Everybody that goes inside a place of business or restaurant or go to work even, you got to have your vaccination card with you.
Yeah, you do. And our mom wanted us to comment on that. I think it is reasonable. I think the virus is very dangerous. And certainly we need those restrictions in place to try to help people in society.
And by the way,
and people doing well.
See, we need people to do well, everybody, and that's getting people vaccinated and not having unvaccinated people. So, well, in the end, unvaccinated people get COVID-19. They end up dying. They affect themselves as well as other people, as well as the vaccinated people, too. Now, I'm going to tell you, everybody, the U.S., Canadian, and Mexican borders will be opening up in November when 70% of the population received at least one dose of the vaccine. But here's the problem, everybody. One dose isn't good enough. You will have to get like a 2-dose vaccine and a booster shot.
Pretty much.
In order to reopen the borders, not just one dose of the vaccine. Now, when you watch a video of Dr. Fauci, he said at the beginning that one dose is only good for 6 months, two doses are only good for a whole year, and the booster shot is good for years. But however, later on that has changed, and we found out from regular people that one dose is only good for 3 months, second dose is good for 6 months, and the third dose is good for years. But Dr. Fauci said at the beginning, one dose is good for 6 months, two doses are good for a year. Booster shot is good for years. Now I'm going to tell you, everybody, you got to listen to Dr. Fauci and realize that one dose is not good enough.
Yeah, I think that the problem here is this, that there are a group of people who aren't doing things. And to get back to corruption for a second, we're seeing lots of corruption with the GOP and with corporate Dems, who are basically blocking stuff like the Medicare drug pricing bill, which has the support of 90% of the public, including 77% of Republicans. How could you block this bill except to say, oh, right, you took 1.4 million, 2 million from Big Pharma? And we need a primary guys like Josh Gottelheimer and Joe Manchin. We need to primary these people. Either you get in line and vote for what is good for the people, or you don't get to have your job. It's as simple as that. And I think it shows to me. It shows to me that there are lots of just unfortunate people who are trying to block legislation that has the support of a large majority of the public. And of course, the other provisions, universal pre-K, free community college, universal child care. I mean, those are things that we all support and need and should have in this country. And it's sad that we're the only major country on earth that does not have paid family or maternity leave. We should have that. And so, yeah, it's problematic that we have problems like one we do. It's like that quote from the song "American Idiot," where the alien nation, where everything isn't meant to be okay. And I think that describes the Congress at the moment.
So to let you know, everybody, when you look at the government's more to the right than to the left, and the government,
It's moderate.
yeah,
Biden is a moderate.
Yeah, Joe Biden is a moderate, and so let you know the government is a moderate. The government's either Democrat or Republican.
It actually is Democrat, but there are a lot of centrists, and I think there are lots of problems when it comes to the obvious, which is this fact that the problems that we face here and there are, on one hand, the responsibility of the president, and on the other hand, you have policy that is sort of more Congress. and congressional. And I think the problem solely lies with both. They both have to do great things. And it lies with the Supreme Court because the courts could overturn a lot of what could have happened. And there are a lot of big problems that we have. And the court being supposedly conservative, uh, there are lots of problems with trying to get things through without them being overturned by judicial review. But I'll say one thing, that the Republicans are irresponsible. Mitch McConnell literally would have thrown the economy under the bus. He would have destroyed most of the U.S. economy with the debt ceiling. And I think it's good that they finally did vote with, but it would have been pretty bad if they had decided to go do the ceiling and underwrap it as much as they did. So, yeah, that's what I think about that. What do you think about Mitch McConnell and the debt ceiling?
I think Mitch McConnell, of course, is an idiot because Mitch McConnell is refusing to get us out of debt, keeps refusing to pass a permanent bill that would keep the government open and that would keep people from being homeless, give people extra doses of the vaccine, as well as give people the stimulus money.
Yeah, I think so. It would have been nice if our state's governor had done a state stimulus bill. I know Louisiana doesn't have that much money, but hopefully, maybe they could have at least given 200.
I think Governor John Bell Edwards, he is a Democrat, but he is supposed to give people out their own state stimulus money, but that hasn't come any of it yet. Nobody in the state of Louisiana has received Governor John Bell Edwards' stimulus money, but that's something that Governor John Bell Edwards should do. Is give people the state stimulus money so that way us poor people and middle class people will get the money and they'll be doing a lot better off than they are right now.
Yeah.
Just like with California, the governor of California gave everybody their own stimulus money.
It was $600 a month. I think I just wanted to give a shout out to the South Korea. Their presidential election is, I believe, tomorrow, and the leader in the polls is the self-described Bernie Sanders, and he's forwarding a policy that I've been a supporter of for a while: universal basic income, UBI. And what UB would do is basically give people a certain amount of money, 7,000 or so a month. So yeah, it's interesting. I endorse him, and I hope he wins big um, in South Korea, because there are lots of problems with climate in that country, in most of the Asian countries. China in particular has a bad problem with climate. So I think we need to stay focused and stay on a better way. And yeah, China has lots of manufacturing, so that's contributing a lot to the climate crises there. and so is, of course, capitalism. And as someone who is strongly focused and opposes capital, I think it's only going to get a lot worse in those countries unless we elect guys like him in office.
So I'll let you know, everybody. One of the things that we will have to do, if Trevor were the one for president of the United States, because
I like.
because my brother's Trevor, which is a communist, is planning on running for president of the United States. One of the first things we have to do is close down the RNC, Republican National Committee headquarters, as well as their other all of their offices, and we also need to close down the Republican Party, because the Republican Party is just evil, and just have the Democratic Party and Independent Party, and that's about it.
You do have to ask that question with the extremism of the GOP and the far right. How much is too much? When does it get to the point where people who are online start to take matters into their own hands and start doing bad stuff? Sorry, what I mean is they start doing things that are uh, unethical uh, in a disobedient way. So, yeah, I do wonder that. When does it get to that point?
Yeah, think of this: the Democrats are on the good side, except for Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. The Republican Party is on the evil side. The Independents are good and evil in the middle. The moderate Republican is good and evil in the middle. The moderate Democrats, the same thing. Liberal Democrat is always on the good side, you know.
Yeah. Well, let's let the Soviets rise again. Yeah. We're going to take our first break. We'll be back. This is the Commie and the Liberal.
Hello,
Welcome back.
everybody. Welcome back to the Commie and the Liberal.
Now, the next thing I want to mention is we have 12 union strikes going on. And Instacart, uh, their workers are going on a national strike. But there are strikes going on, and I, of course, am fully a supporter of, of striking workers because in this capitalist economy, the boss uh, is trying to seek the profits over that of the workers. And we've seen that all the time. So hopefully we can do whatever we can to end our crushingly bad economy with the way we do and implement a democratic economy. And that's what we need.
By the way, everybody, starting in the month of November, everybody, since some vaccine mandates in effect right now, starting on November 29th of this year, that if you go inside a place of business, restaurant, or work, or public transportation, and not show your vaccination card or get vaccinated, the first violation is a warning. Second violation and third violation is $1,000 fine or a $5,000 fine. And that's pretty good because hey, we need to get people vaccinated and we need to get these unvaccinated people out of our country and get vaccinated people in the country and get more unvaccinated people vaccinated so that way they don't kill themselves as well as others. That's why the first violation is a warning, and second and third violation is $1,000 to or a $5,000 fine for that reason. By the way, everybody, on November 1st, we're going to be moving into our new house here in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, we will. It will be an interesting rock place, and you might see a change of format of studios soon because of that reason. Let's mention something else. The film TV workers, they're on strike. Nabisco, you probably have heard of that. They're on strike. And what we need is even more strikes. We need that because that would lead to capital being weakened. That's what we need to do is to weaken capitalism and implement a communist society. And that's what we should do. But to sort of move on a little, we have a new article that I want to find. I'm having trouble finding it, but it was a good article which
He's trying to find an article, but he can't find it right now. So we'll see if he can find it. If not, we'll have to show you everybody the article later. But we'll see if he can find it right now.
So,
by the way, there's a song from the Cars that's called "You Think
I wanted to say the British lawmaker that was stabbed, he um, died. So now that's what you get when you try to take me off, Joe. Yeah, Texas superintendent apologizes after officials' Holocaust remarks, which I was talking about earlier at the start of the show. So now we finally had an apology, but still, you should not talk about things like that in that type of manner, in that way. They did it in the most offensive way you could possibly do, and I hope they are sorry because they should be sorry for what they did.
See, that's I'm glad that the Texas Republicans, as well as Great Albert, I tell you, apologize for using Holocaust remarks and telling teachers that teach children anti slavery and racism um, 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 that it is that they should be suspended for doing so because it's wrong to teach anybody slavery and racism, and it's also wrong to suspend teachers that teach that teach children or anybody um, for anti racism and slavery because they need the teach children and people that racism and slavery is wrong because otherwise we're repeating history. We do not need to repeat history, Great Albert. It's simple. Just like all of you Republicans that are in Texas. We do not need to repeat history. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. We don't need to be repeating something that everyone knows was not good. It was not a good system. Nobody liked it. It was bad. And the fact that we consider ourselves a free a society of everyone together shows us that is the society that we should strive for, and that I think that is what should be done.
And by the way, everybody, um, one of the things I wanted to mention to you is that the Northwest is having another snowstorm. The snowstorm's name is La Quinta,
Mm.
named after the hotel in Canada, Louisiana. And I wanted to just tell you, everybody, that the Northwest is cold, the Northeast is warm, the Southeast and the West is hot and humid. California is having another wildfire right now after the tree got caught on fire in Los Angeles, California. So now California is under another wildfire right now. And that's another example of climate change,
Yeah.
It's the wildfires and cold weather starting too soon, and of course, hot and humid weather. We don't have a spring and fall anymore because of climate change. It's either hot and humid or it's extremely cold. And it shouldn't be that way. It's not like back before 2000 and 2008 when the weather had spring and fall. See, back then, all the way up until 2008, we had spring and fall. The coldest the South got was in the 60s. From back then all the way up until 2008. And then once when 2009 came, the South has always been getting cold when it's not supposed to get cold. And up north is getting extremely cold when it's not supposed to get extremely cold. Up north has been dropping down to below 0 degrees. Up north, it's not supposed to drop down to below 0 degrees. Only the North Pole is supposed to drop down to below 0 degrees. Not up north, not Canada. Canada and up north, the coldest is supposed to get are in the 30s. Just like with the South, the coldest is supposed to get is in the 60s. Not below 0 degree weather up north, and not below 60 degrees in the South. It's as simple as that, and that's another example of climate change. Do you know that North Shore, north of the lake, on Saturday night, going into Sunday, the nighttime low is 49 degrees. That's not supposed to be happening. Coldest is supposed to get is 60 degrees, not 49 degrees. We're at the nighttime low on Saturday night, 62 degrees. Be 62 degrees at 3 a.m. That's short weather. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way the South is supposed to be. And not below 60-degree weather. Well, in the end, you're freezing outside. You got to put something warm on, all that type of stuff. And nobody wants to put something warm on because it's very uncomfortable. Even our mom will tell you that putting something warm on, wearing 2 or 3 layers of clothing, because it's below 60 degrees, or you're living up north where it's below 0 degrees, it's uncomfortable because it's harder to take your clothes off. It's harder to have to pull your pants down to go use the bathroom, you know. It's also harder to take your clothes off to go get in the shower. It's even harder to take your clothes off just to change your clothes. That's why wearing 2 or 3 layers of clothing is uncomfortable for that reason. That's why we need to fix this planet, so that way nobody across the planet will have to wear 2 or 3 layers of clothing or have to worry about hot and humid weather or extreme cold weather, where in the end you have to wear 2 or 3 layers of clothing, or you freeze to death, God forbid, or it gets cold sooner than it's supposed to, or it's not supposed to get cold like the South, or snowstorms up north that are not supposed to be here until December or January, and not October. October is too soon to be having these storms up in the Northwest right now. And the California is having another wildfire right now. And that's not good either. That has to change. And the tree got caught on fire a couple weeks ago, which caused the wildfire in California, all because of the heat and the humidity. And that has to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, so let you know,
Yeah.
we are going to start having some guests on the show on of course November 3rd. Our first guest of the show would be Victor Olmama.
Victor, oh yeah.
And when we have Victor Olmama on a show, so to let you know, everybody, he will explain to you how the economy needs to get better. The economy is horrible. The country is in debt, all because of George W. Bush, Donald J. Trump, Ronald Reagan, Richard M. Nixon, and George H.W. Bush. Deregulations do not work. by the way. Reaganomics don't work.
Yeah, it doesn't, and I think it shows uh, you can't just have capitalism and have more capitalism. It's wrong. It's not right, and I think the best shot we have is communism again and having that type of society. Because it is under that society where everyone will be treated equal, fairly, and to everybody else. Everybody would be great, everybody would be strong, everybody would have great contests and candor. So we need a, a communist society to take root because we would be an even better advanced society with it, and it would be a democratic society of economic a democratic of ocratic fine. So we need that to happen. Okay, so we have a little under 12 minutes until we bring in the
Father,
father.
William Taylor, on the show, by the way. So I'll be signing off in 12 more minutes until Monday, by the way, of next week. And so let you know, everybody, we're now going to go ahead and move on to what I was going to say about the Cause. There's a band called The Cause, and I wanted to just tell you, everybody, that they got a number one hit song that's called "You Think I'm Crazy" and "You Think I'm Foolish." That has to deal, of course, with crazy people across the United States of America and across the world, like Donald J. Trump, George W. Bush, Richard M. Nixon, of course, George H.W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, and Mitch McConnell, Kristen Sinema, Joe Manchin, Governor of Texas, Governor of Florida, and all the Republican governors across the United
Yeah,
States of America.
especially more on DeSantis, who has done a lot, but now Greg Abbott might be stupider.
and and that's true. Great Albert might be totally stupider than all the other Republican governors.
It's a
He's
contest
num
between them.
he's number one as the one of the worst Republican governors across the United States of America. Other than what happened in Flint, Michigan, and of course Florida with more on DeSantis for refusing to issue mask mandates. Him refusing to issue mask mandates was just as bad. But Great Albert refusing to issue vaccine mandates in Texas, being racist against all colors of race. Him, of course, supporting racism and slavery is which of course is evil. That's why he's the worst one of the number one worst Republican governors in United States history for that reason. Because all we're doing is repeating history. Abraham Lincoln is torn in his grave right now because of what Great Albert just did, you know?
Absolutely, the way the party has gone down far, it's wrong. I don't like it, and it shows uncandor to
And
do so.
and by the way, everybody, the buffets will be opening back up when 100% of the population received at least one dose of the vaccine. Now, listen up. We were in Metairie the other day, and we saw a buffet called East Buffet. That's about to open up when 100% of the population received at least one dose. They're advertising more golden corral commercials right now. That's supposed to open up when 100% of the population received at least one dose of the vaccine. Now, moving on to our new website called thecommieandtheliberal.com.
That's right. We're getting our new website. It will be up and running in the next month or so.
We'll be posting episodes of The Commie and the Liberal on our website, thecommieandtheliberal.com, and we will be posting advertisements on thecommieandtheliberal.com. So everybody, if you want to go ahead and go on our website, thecommieandtheliberal.com, and watch our show and our episodes from YouTube, you can go right ahead and do so on our website, thecommieandtheliberal.com, as well as on YouTube. Also, everybody, if you want to click on our advertisements on thecommieandtheliberal.com, and if you want to buy something that you're interested on, you could go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
And
We'll find exclusive content, magazines, videos, new digital homemade series, and more. That's why go to thecommieandtheliberal.com. It'll be up and running in 2 months. It will be great. We will enjoy it. And we have to take a quick break, but we'll be back. This is more the Commie and the Liberal. Hello, welcome back.
hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Commie and the Liberal. We have about we have about like 3.5 minutes until our Florida William Taylor takes over. So one final thing. We're going to go ahead before I sign off. We're going to go ahead and play the song "You Think I'm Foolish." Do you remember the song You Think I'm Foolish? Let me try that again. Okay, good.
We're now joined by the father.
Hello, hey, how you doing?
Good evening.
That's a pretty good tune. That.
It is.
Hey, well, what channel was I watching inside the other room? Comment,
Yeah.
comments. They have Elvira on today, from 8 to first movie's 5 to 7, second movie's 7 to 9, and they're older movies. This one's 1964. I was looking at about a zombie infested island, and it is pretty satisfying, pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Getting ready to get up into my horror movies and all that stuff very shortly. You know, by the end of the of course, the month. But yeah, like I said, with the movie, it was pretty good. Of course, heroine. Then there's a guy hero, that type of thing. And he got lots of zombies, that's for sure. That was kind of cool. And the next movie's coming on 7 to 9. I don't know what that's called. I haven't checked that one out yet. But of course, we'll be looking at that one too after we finished our date and night tonight here. So if you ever wonder, gee, where the heck they going after they get off, I'm making a beeline over to the television and tune into the horror movie. And it's the weekend. The weekend's full of horror movies. Uh, again, with Commie and all that, they have movies from I believe it's 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. all the way to I don't know. I think midnight maybe. Saturday and Sunday because of the holiday, Halloween. If you're asking what holiday.
Well, anyway, it's casual hour.
Casual hour, great.
So, here's Dig Up Her Bones by the Misfits. And
It's not playing. There's the wild animals. They're coming.
that was cool.
Yeah, that was good too.
I actually played that song outside of a graveyard.
We walked by the graveyard just the other day.
I know, that's when I played the song.
Yeah.
It's
We're on our way to buying books at Books A Million.
Is it fair to call it classic punk? Because it came out in the 90s. 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess.
We went to Barnes & Noble. That's where we went. I misrepresented Books A Million by accident. And we got quite a few good, darn good books. Hey, I got a book, right? I won't read the author or whatnot. You're in the scene, the killing scene, inside the shower with Psycho. We're real fans. Well, when we're at the bookstore, I ended up coming across a book in a discounted rack, and I paid $5 for it. And what it is, it's a book about the filming of Psycho. But the thing it's about mostly is the woman who played the body double, the Janet Leigh in the shower scene and all that. And what happened? I haven't really looked too much at the book yet. The woman got murdered. So there's something, you know, noticeably happening that, here's this woman that played the body double to Janet Leigh, and then she gets killed. Whoa, that's weird. But after I read the outside, uh, you know, writing what the book was about, I quickly took it home. Eventually, I'll get around to reading it.
Yeah.
So, and someday could maybe make a movie of it in honor of the young lady. So, well, what else you been finding there?
Well, I've been finding lots of interesting things with the news.
Well, with
We
the news I was looking at, I have books that, news magazine I got from
right.
the bookstore.
But getting to the news, we have 12 union strikes across the country, which is
Union
good.
strikes?
Yep.
Good to you. I believe in unions all the way.
Yeah.
It's the best way to give the worker a fair chance. My dad, we grew up with him being in a union up in Jersey.
Yeah.
So,
Capitol police officer charged with obstruction in January 6th Capitol riot. Right. Pro-impeachment lawmaker Adam Kinzinger admits he may have to quit over redistricting. So, okay, what?
hey, tomorrow night is Son of Frankenstein on Spenguli. I had to say that. But yeah, it's on tomorrow night. So from 7 to 9. So it's pretty good. And all this month, he's going every Saturday. Spenguli said he's going to be playing Frankenstein movies. So next movie will be Frankenstein again, and then Frankenstein again. We got what, about 3 more weeks left in the month, I guess. I really haven't been paying attention. So
Yeah. So, a Trump-loving restaurant boss loses customers after hanging a, quote, Patriots only, unquote, anti-Biden sign. Instacarts and Battle gig workers are going on a nationwide strike. That's Pentagon spies say Kim Jong-un is still pursuing nuclear.
all right, that's not good. Can't trust that guy.
Florida ended unemployment benefits early. Uh, Trump drops crazy statement on Arizona demanding, quote, either a new election or for, quote, him to be declared the winner.
Man's got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
We knew he was very mixed up, very ill, very can't count on him. That's for sure. And the people that are thinking of counting on him, please don't make a foolish mistake.
Yeah, well, they do every day.
You can see the man's got problems, a lot of problems, and they're all brought on to him by himself. Then he causes problems for good people, the average person. They don't need to suffer like he's making them suffer. And you can't follow the guy. You know, he's not a leader.
Yeah, you're right. So,
So hey, I don't need to we get over talking about sports in a little while. We got a few things happening.
yeah, we'll be talking about sports into next 60 minutes, 50 minutes. First off, I forgot to mention, we should have mentioned this at the start of the show. Due to complications, we'll only be doing a 2-hour broadcast for today. So, uh,
Yeah, I apologize for the mishap. The weather messed up everything, unbeknownst to us until we tried using it. So otherwise we definitely would have been on the share time with you over the airwaves. So, but we're back now. So.
FDA advisory group recommends second J&J shot. So now there could be a second one. Again, we have to ask that question. Will they be giving it for free like they normally do? Or are they going to start charging? Because we know how greedy Big Pharma is. Are they going to do their job, their thing, or are they not?
Yeah, I was looking the other day, and I forgot what paper it was I was looking at, and they mentioned about the vaccine, you know, and it mentioned about how much it costs. So
Donald Trump, a man once elected as president, has confirmed that he's not into, quote, golden showers, unquote.
well, at least we're getting close to the end of hurricane season. Ends December 1st. It ended by.
Carl Anthony Towns, whose mother died of COVID, responds to Kyrie Irving not getting vaccinated. I know this is a sports story. It sort of blends both politics and sports. Minnesota Timberwolves player Karl Anthony Towns knows the pain COVID-19 can inflict on a family. Towns, 25, lost his mother and other family members to COVID and even survived his own bout with it. He has since been a proponent of vaccination. When asked about his thoughts on Brooklyn Nets player Kyrie Irving, who will not be allowed to play for the team until he is fully vaccinated, Towns did not push back against Ivory's choice not to receive a COVID shot as of yet. Quote, I'm obviously a strong believer in the vaccine, Towns. I've been through so much, and it would be kind of contradictory to not be on the pro-vaccine side. Towns added, quote, but what I will say is that I believe in choice, and I like to give people their choice, and I have no problem with people having their choice. Towns went on to say that he believes choosing whether or not to receive a vaccine is a human and American right, though he seemed to take issue with how Irving has handled the controversy around his vaccination status. Quote, they make their own decisions on their own bodies and their own families. I have no ill will towards that, Towns told the outlet. The only thing I would say is just don't give me a bull, you know what, excuse why you don't want to do it. That's your choice. Get the vaccine.
Yeah, you can always use getting the vaccines to stay healthy. We know a lot of you people out there still have not gotten it. Please use some smarts and go out and do it for the benefit of your own self, the benefit of your own family, friends, and neighbors. It's common sense.
Yeah.
So you gonna play a song?
No.
You want me to pick one out?
Yes.
Okay.
Do Rancid.
You Rancid. I was gonna do Rolling Stone.
Rancid.
Or I could do Neil Diamond. You can't say no to Neil.
I know Rancid performed at the Aftershocks Rock Festival recently. That was good. That was a classic song from the 90s.
Like Fleetwood Mac, maybe?
No,
No.
that's enough with these songs.
Okay.
We'll be back. This is the Commie and the Liberal.
Tell them we'll see you Monday.
Okay, we're back. This is the Commie and the Liberal. That will be the end of today's show. We'll be back on Monday. I'm the Commie.
Hi, I'm the father.
And goodbye.
Have a safe, wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.